Oh yeah, Django Fett approves this show.
It's showtime.
Hey guys, Django Fett here, Honey Games, comics, TV shows, movies, and more. Just finished The Mandalorian on the new Disney Plus service, and man, oh man, is this show awesome. As to be expected, everybody's loving this show, so I had to go out and see this myself. I'm a little late on reviewing it, but wanted to see it at my own pace and didn't want to see it as soon as possible like everyone else. So I had to give my thoughts, considering I'm a big Mandalorian guy. Had to review this, man. I had to get into this. So this is a show that is created by Jon Favreau, who has done excellent work in the past, and is written by Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, Rick Famuyiwa, Christopher Yost, and is directed by, with each different episode being different, Dave Filoni, Rick Famuyiwa, Deborah Chow, Bryce Dallas Howard, and Taika Waititi. Pretty cool. And I really don't want to discuss the spoilers when it comes to this show, so this is going to be spoiler free. I am going to do a spoiler section for my podcast series, Awesome Mandalorian Podcast, so look out for that. So it stars Pedro Pascal as the Mandalorian, and the package ends up being, everyone spoiled it at this point, Baby Yoda. So I didn't know what to expect with Baby Yoda. Like, everybody was saying, oh, he's so cute, everyone wants to get everything with Baby Yoda. I didn't really understand it. But until I watched the show, I got it. I understood what Baby Yoda was about, and that, man, oh man, Baby Yoda is the cutest freaking thing I've ever seen, man. It's ridiculous. Like, I didn't expect it to be this cute, this thing. But it is. And it's literally not a baby version of Yoda, because Yoda is obviously like 500 or 1,000 years old. I don't remember his age. And this series is actually centered after Return of the Jedi, like a couple years after Return of the Jedi, so that wouldn't make sense. But it's just a baby version of Yoda's species. That's it. And the Mandalorian has to pretty much protect him, or grab him and turn him into the bounty hunters, and so forth. And they really go on this one big adventure together. There is some filler in between, which I will discuss later on. But overall, I really enjoyed this show because it really dived into the Mandalorian culture. There were some problems here and there with the filler episodes, but overall, this is how you do a TV show. And if they do more of this, boy, am I going to be excited for, the future when it comes to Star Wars. With The Mandalorian, Jedi Fallen Order, the future is really high up with Star Wars now. I mean, you can forget about the movies. Fuck the movies now. I don't really give a shit about them. But when it comes to TVs and video games, sign me up. I want more of this. So The Mandalorian is pretty much a Western. Like a old school Western. There's even one episode that is like homage to Seven Samurai, Magnificent Seven. In many ways. There's one episode in specific which I don't want to spoil, but this was very much an old school Western that didn't really explore and give you all the characters right away and explode it in your face like with the Star Wars movies. And it's just the complete opposite. You figure it out yourself, and this show does what many of us have been asking for, many of the movies and TV shows to turn out to be eventually in the future, much like indie projects, and do the show but do not tell. Let the visual experience explain it to you, and then you can figure it out on your own, much like Westerns do, old school Westerns. And having that with the Mandalorian culture mixed in is just a recipe for success. I mean, this is how you do it. I mean, the fact that they wanted to delve into the Mandalorian culture is awesome, and they didn't really go with Boba Fett, which is something I expected at first, but I do understand why they wanted to go in a different direction, and they do wanted to do a standalone experience. But I do want to see Boba Fett have his own TV show in the future, because I do think they could do a lot of cool stuff. Have Jon Favreau do that as well. That would be a recipe for success. There was actually 2 episodes that I really did not like at all. Only 2 episodes out of 8 that I really didn't like, but overall I really enjoyed my experience. Incredible storytelling, great plot, great characters. I mean, not only Pedro Pascal, but the Baby Yoda was cute as hell. I mean, you had Carl Weathers in this, Werner Herzog as the client, who was pretty interesting, Nick Nolte. You had Gina Carano, Taika Waititi as IG-11, his voice. I mean, you had a shit ton of characters, and as well as, the directors involved, including Dave Filoni. For once, I gotta give credit to Dave Filoni, because I fucking hate what he has done to the Clone Wars and Rebel TV show. Fucking hate him for that. I think he's terrible. But when it comes to this, like, I was shocked. Like, episode 1, I think he did the first episode, and that was a great episode. Fantastic. Really did a good job of setting everything up. And I was just shocked. Like, this guy apparently has some talent. I don't know if it was Jon Favreau or other people around him that really enhanced his abilities, but by himself, I think he's terrible. But with other, talented people around him, he can do some good things. Either that, or he's just not talented enough and the others had to carry him. I don't know. I really don't know. And I think they borrowed a lot of elements from the EU in many ways, as well as Westerns, and trying to be like a Western, because they do this moment where they show his past when he's a kid, and they do glimpses of it. Much like Once Upon a Time in the West, which is my all-time favorite Western. Love that Western, where they show an image by walking towards the camera. And they do glimpses of that over and over, spacing out towards the film. And in this, they don't do it to this extent with The Mandalorian, but they show the images of, The Mandalorian when he was a child. And you slowly find out what his childhood is about, and why he hates droids, and other things of that sort. But there was that moment where they showed his past, and it's a pure Western, and it also borrows from one of the greatest EU works and greatest comics, Django Fett Open Seasons, where he is saved by the Mandalorians as a kid. He's not a Mandalorian. He is saved by the Mandalorians and eventually becomes a Mandalorian himself. So I could see them drawing that inspiration from that comic alone. I really do. And who knows what they do in the future. Maybe they could take some more EU stuff, but I have no idea what went through that. But I can definitely see that as an influence for this show alone. Definitely. And the fact that we get Mandalorians, love for the Mandalorians, and respect for them, unlike the Clone Wars garbage or Rebels, it says a lot. I mean, now people are like buying into Mandalorians and all this other stuff. They want to be Mandalorians. Like, hey, that's awesome, man. That's so awesome. And who knows? We might see Boba Fett in the future. That would be awesome as hell. And they have confirmed that there is going to be a season 2 of this show. So at the end of this year, they're going to be having a season 2, and I just cannot wait to see that. And I also liked how at the end of each episode, you don't really experience this, but they have, with the credits coming up, they have concept art for each episode, various concept arts with the credits rolling in, and I thought that was really cool and unique, and it keeps you like engaged and wants to keep you watching and seeing all this different concept that what's going on for each episode. And I thought that was a really cool thing. And each episode is only like, it can vary from like 30 to 50 minutes almost. They were pretty short, and there were only 8 episodes, but the fact that they managed to put all of that in per episode just that just blew me away in a great way. Unlike, other TV shows that try to cram in so much in 1 hour, and it just feels too much. But with 30 minutes and 40 minutes for this show, it feels much needed, and makes you want to watch the next episode after that right away. But you still want to, but at the same time, you don't want to binge watch, and you just want to you know, stop for a moment and say, hey, I want to watch the next episode the next day because I want to soak in this episode that I just watched. This show makes you do that. For me, it does. I don't know about everybody else because it's just that good of a show, but for me, I wanted to soak in one episode at a time and not just watch after watch after watch after, you know, each and every episode. So I wanted to take in and consume one bit at a time, which is a good thing. This is what you want, not to binge watch and go crazy with other TV shows like I've done in the past, and then, you know, over time I've not really enjoyed that experience. I am giving The Mandalorian a even though this is like another service with like Netflix and Hulu and all this other shit, I think Disney Plus is worth it because now you got The Mandalorian, you got a whole bunch of Disney movies and TV shows on the service now, and then future Marvel and Star Wars shows. Things are looking up and they could be a really, really good deal for Disney Plus. So thank you guys so much for watching. Look out for my spoiler review of this when I do the Awesome Mandalorian podcast for this in the future. I'm still going to continue doing Awesome Mandalorian podcasts. I'm going to be starting a bunch of Star Wars stuff in the future very soon, starting with Crimson Empire. Yep, I'm going to be reviewing Crimson Empire, and I cannot wait to get into that. Already finished Crimson Empire 1 and getting into Crimson Empire 2, so I'm really like speeding up and getting into this, man. I really am. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to please like this video and comment down below. Tell me what you think of The Mandalorian in the comment section below. And subscribe to my channel, Django Fett, and I'll see you, my fellow Mandalorian brothers and sisters, next time. Ooh, yeah!